What's up YouTube? This is Ribo at the Bench, and tonight I wanted to do a quick review of the Barton Silicone Elite. This is the 22mm version of the watch strap. This is on my Seiko Turtle, so this is the SRPC 23J with that awesome steel gray kind of sunburst dial, the anthracite version. Really awesome watch. But today I'm going to be talking about the watch strap here. So this is the Barton Elite. Like I said, this retails for about 20 bucks. I think it's gone up because the ones I've bought in the past have been under 20, maybe right under 20, like 18.50, 19.50, something like that. So they may have just gone up. However, I think it's still an absolute steal, and I'll explain why. So let's get into today's cut or carry. All right, so for $20, you get both of these, and then you also get this other tail. And so this is something really cool that Barton does. And as someone who has a little bit smaller wrists, between 7 and 7.25, I've had to sell off straps before because they were too long and they kind of looked funky, or there was too much kind of hanging out of the last keeper. And so I really appreciate that. With these, I can kind of wear it with either one, but I go ahead and wear it with the smaller one just to have less material. So that's kind of cool. You don't often see companies do something like that, and how they're able to do that and still make money at 20 bucks. I think that's pretty cool. So I like that a lot. A couple other things I really like and that kind of distinguish the Barton Elite, sorry. One is this texturing here. So a lot of other straps, you don't see this, but this is really nice texturing. Just a nice little detail. Gives it a little bit more of a, richer feel, right? So I've seen other rubber straps that are just plain rubber. They look very cheap, they feel cheap, and this just kind of adds some visual interest. Nothing functional about it, but I do like it quite a bit. Also, you have another kind of functional thing is that it's two-tone. So you can get these in all one color, but you can also get them two-tone like this. Let me use this guy to kind of illustrate that. And so this one is smoke gray and black, and what that allows you to do is kind of pair multiple things to the watch. So, smoke gray to the dial and the black here. It's something that is understated. If you're not a watch person, you're not really going to notice that, but it's a really cool detail, and you can definitely see it when it's on your wrist at the right angle. I've seen a lot of people get kind of the black version of this with orange underneath, put that on a SKX 007. That works really well. So there are some really cool pairings that you can do, and that's pretty cool. So that definitely sets the Elite series off from other rubber straps. The one other thing is the quick release. So Barton is kind of known to put the quick release spring bars in there. Simple thing. Wish more companies would do that. It's super helpful. I don't see why other strap makers wouldn't do that. So that's also really cool. And let's see, the rubber, very soft and pliable, but still I think supports a big watch like this just fine. But the other thing that Barton does is with their kind of keeper system here. So you have this extra hole at the very end of the band, and when you go to fasten it, let me do it like this. You put it through the first keeper here, and then on the second keeper, if you'll notice, you have this tab inside the keeper there. And so as you can imagine, that just locks right in. And what that does is that keeps the tail from floating, and it keeps the keeper from floating and the tail from popping out, which if you ever had another rubber strap, that is definitely a problem. Really any strap can do that, but I guess the rubber, just because there's less friction, tends to pop out a lot, and I've never had a problem with this. It's a really cool system. I don't know if they have that trademark, but it's really, really awesome, and it's just worked phenomenally. So another really cool thing. The buckle is fantastic. So all around, just a super comfy strap. I have had many different rubber straps, and I've had some good ones. This one is just incredibly comfortable. It does have a few drawbacks, really two major drawbacks that I see. One is just it's a cheap rubber. It's silicone. It's not the vulcanized Italian rubber. It is going to sweat a decent bit, and it's going to feel a little bit cheaper, but you're getting what you pay for at $20. That's not a big deal to me. The other thing is that it's going to pick up a little bit more dirt because of this texturing. This washes right off. I just came back from the beach and I wanted to do a review of what it looked like after 3 days wear. So this is 3 days on the beach, and it picked up some dirt. That's going to wash right off. But it is something to think about, that because of that texturing, it is going to pick up a little bit more dirt than other bands might. But I think that's totally fine. To me, this is a fantastic budget kind of beater strap. This is something that I picked up just for the beach because I had one of these years ago on my Save the Ocean. And you can see that that's already picked up something from the bench. This is something I picked up this beach trip because I had one years ago, and it was a fantastic vacation watch strap. It's something you don't have to worry about getting messed up, getting dirty. It washes off really easily. It dries very quickly. I've noticed it doesn't tend to pick up as much just free like lint as other straps do. I know it might seem that way given all this texturing, but something about this rubber I just haven't noticed as much kind of like pocket lint dust pickup. And so that's really nice. So all in all, it's a strong carry for me. I've had them for years. We'll continue to buy them. I don't think you can do much better at $20 for a watch strap. It hugs the wrist perfectly. It's just pliable enough to just really grab the wrist and yet still support a big watch. It's easy to get on there because of those quick release spring bars. You got tons of color options. There's a cool keeper system in place. It has 2 different lengths available, and they hold their value, and you can get your money back on the forums if you decide to sell. So all in all, strong carry for me. I will put a link to the bottom, at the bottom in the comments, you know what I'm saying, of where I got this one, and you might want to check one out. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody, and see you next time.